Dímelo mi gente, Marcuccio here again bringing another video, and today we're going to do a very special video. We're going to be talking about the EU travel rule that is going to be taking place on December 30th. It was done or recommended or suggested by one of our subscribers, Dean. So thank you so much, Dean. Thank you for commenting on all the videos. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I found this website. I used to do like travel rules or travel certificates for pets back when I was in the veterinary field, and I've always worked with like websites like this. This video is gonna be a summary of what I found on this website. So disclosure or things to mention: I'm not a lawyer. I am not a travel agent, special agent, anything. These are my own personal opinions and a summary of what I found from this website. So if you're gonna travel and you're in the EU, go talk with a specialist, meet with a specialist. But this is everything I was able to find from this website, and they look pretty thorough and pretty good. So they have for all these other websites, for all these other countries, so from Abu Dhabi all the way up to the United States. European Union is what we're going to be mentioning right now. So enforcement date is December 30th, 2024. I'll give my thoughts and what I think about the travel rule at the end of the video, so please stay tuned. Anyways, hope it's not that long of a video. I made a PowerPoint for you guys. I spent a couple of days on this. He mentioned it like last week. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. I hope you guys like it. So it's obviously titled EU rule, EU travel rule, or travel rule EU. So the introduction is basically this travel rule is enforced by the FATF, or the Financial Action Task Force. So what are they? So their purpose is to lead global efforts to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing. The role is to act as an international watchdog, setting standards to prevent these illegal financial activities and their societal harms. So they have about 40 members, over 200 countries and jurisdictions that have adopted this standard. Basically, if you're not part of them, then you're kind of shrugged off from being in the financial anything in this world, really, if you don't have their standards. They're founded in Paris in 1989, and they function so they research methods of money laundering and terrorism financing. They promote global standards to mitigate these risks and assess country compliance with these standards. So that's basically what the FATF does. So the EU travel timeline, or the key developments that I was able to find, they have a couple of dates, but I think these are the most important. So it was May 20th, 2015. So the adoption of the regulation to ensure informed application of FATF's requirements for transfer of funds across the EU. Then in 2021, the proposal by the European Commission for the crypto legislative framework, including a recast of the TFR to extend traceability to crypto assets. Then last year, they endorsed MiCA, which MiCA will talk in another video. I didn't think I wanted to talk about it in this video. And the official adoption of the recast of the TFR in May 31st. Now, 2024, in December 30th, that is going to, all these things leading up to it are going to be coming into effect. So, is cryptocurrency legal in the EU? Yes, it is. MiCA framework establishes a comprehensive regulatory environment for crypto assets, including, and the categories are utility tokens, art, and electronic money tokens. Objectives are market integrity and consumer protection and financial stability. Exclusion are NFTs. For whatever reason that is, I do not know. But the NFTs are not covered in this. Anti-money laundering crypto regulations in the EU. So is there existence? So yes. Introduced through legislative proposal in 2021, to strengthen anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing rules for the crypto industry. Are there current mandates? Yes. So there are current mandates, but it is open to different states. So the current status is some member states have already adopted it nationally, but it will be, in the whole EU by the start of next year, basically. So who regulates it? They are regulated between state to state and between different jurisdictions. So I see it really hard kind of regulating this, especially because I've been to the European Union, I've been to different countries, and it's really easy to travel across. So I really don't know how it's going to be regulated, but it is what it is. Then licensing and registration for crypto asset services, or CASP. So CASP are entities within the EU framework, specifically designed to regulate and oversee services related to crypto assets. So the crypto travel rule enforcement date, we already mentioned that. There is a grace period for compliance. So the grace period is 18 months. And that was provided for the transfer of funds regulation, so TFR, to allow European virtual asset services providers, so VASPs, to adjust to the new requirements. So example of VASPs are Coinbase and Binance. And some wallet providers include like Ledger and Trezor. And this was, this basically, we saw throughout the years that Coinbase and Binance has been requiring KYC in different countries. So I think this is kind of where we are, going to. Okay. So it looks like they have an 18-month period. So 2026, whatever, is going to be when it's actually like really implemented in every single country in the EU. So what is the minimum threshold for the crypto travel rules in the European Union? So there is no minimum threshold. Before it was like a couple thousands or it was some money, but now there's no threshold. So you must comply with the travel rule obligations for every single transaction regardless of the amount. So you have to basically know every single transaction you have kind of done, right? So it is really interesting. I don't know how they're going to do that, but that's what they want to do. And this is also for exchanges too. So that's probably why we've seen some exchanges leave or just stop working in some countries. I'm assuming they don't have the resources or the money to comply by these rules. And that's kind of the main thing. They want to monopolize who can and can't distribute crypto or own crypto in the EU, which I don't think is pretty good. But I do think it is bullish because they want to regulate it, right? So it's not nothing. That's kind of what I want to say. This there's a picture here, right? So this is the first figure. So travel rule transmissions obligations for natural persons. So a natural person is a person from the EU. This is kind of what it has to look like. So information on the originator customer and information of the beneficiary customer. So name, distributed ledger address, account number, same, or date of birth, so the KYC requirements, right? And this is regardless of the transaction amount. In cases where transfers of crypto assets is required in the network using a distributed ledger technology or some other technology, okay? So this is, and the second figure is also regardless of transaction amounts, and this is for legal persons. So I guess kind of people with visas or people that are allowed to be in the EU. Kind of the same thing. So register name, distributed ledger address, and account number for both. This is not that really important. Managing non-compliant transactions. So options include executing, rejecting, returning, or suspending transfers based on risk assessments. Can request missing information before deciding on transaction faith, and insufficient versus sufficient information, so action varying based on whether the data allows for unambiguous identification. And there's no distinction between cross-border or internal transfers, right? So like I said, they basically want to know where the money is at all times, or where the crypto transfers are at all times. Doesn't really matter if you're going, to another country or state to state or border to border. You have to comply regardless. So non-custodial versus self-hosted wallet requirements. So any transaction less than 1,000, information collected and retention is required. In transaction more, verification methods depend on whether the wallet is a CAS customer or not. And we can see here, you guys can take a picture of this or pause the video and go over it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't as long. And if you like content like this, I don't mind doing it for other countries that you guys might be traveling to. I like doing this. I did this for my previous work. So as I learn more and more and more, I will get better, definitely. Anyways, this website looks dope. I'll leave it down in the description down below. You can kind of see like where it's enforced now, limited, and grace period is going on. My final thoughts on this travel rule is that anyone that wants to go to the EU or live in the EU and own crypto and just like tech in general, they're making it really hard for you, right? And it kind of sucks because you love the country. You're probably born there, or you're from there, and it really sucks that they're kind of again like they want to regulate everything. And I don't say as they shouldn't. I'm just saying overregulation kind of tends to lead to no innovation or no growth, and that's probably what's going to happen. With that said, we saw how during everything that transpired in the past couple of years, these travel rules don't really be enforced. I went to Mexico during 2021, and no one really cared. No one followed travel rule requirements. I've been to other countries. Some are more stingy than others, right? So obviously vary country to country, or if we're flying to EU, what countries care, what kind of don't care. Obviously always follow the rules, right? I'm not saying to not follow the rules. I'm not saying it's FUD, but obviously be cautious. But these rules take a long time. Like you see, the grace period is 18 months, maybe 24 months from now, even 3, 4, or 5 years from now. Like they're not that really implemented, and it's really hard to implement this in crypto. So main part of the video is always if you're in crypto, to be decentralized and own Bitcoin and own other assets that aren't KYC, then keep doing it. If you are going to comply and be KYC using Coinbase, Binance, whatever it may be, also always follow the rules. And these rules are here to help you. Some people might not agree with it, but I do think they are trying to mitigate it, but it's really hard. I mean, that's why crypto was born. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. I know it's been a long video, but thank you so much for watching. As always, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.